Kal Kadosh, Boker Or. Masechet Zevachim Daf Yomi Daf Samechet Amud Aleph 68E1. We were talking about right now the different cheshbonot, if you remember. So we brought a explanation, right? You remember this is all had to do with kinim. Remember that with the kinim, you always have to bring one for an olah and one for a chatat. And then we said what happens right now if they get mixed up, and then you would have to bring another one for the 3-1, the 4th one. So here it just says that you're going to come, right? And let's start from where we finished yesterday. Natna, right? The Tanatan la Kohen. Imagine right now you come and you gave the 2 kinim to the Kohen. Now, now she doesn't know what she gave. Was it all of them Torim or all of them Bnei Yonah? Was it from 1 ken, from 2 kinim? Right? She doesn't know. Right? Now the Kohen comes and he does it. He doesn't even know what he did. Right? This sounds familiar. Kohen doesn't even know what he's doing. Yeah? So tzricha arba'a predin lenidra ushtayim lechovata v'hatat echad. Yeah? He comes and he says like this. He says you have to bring 4 predin for her neder and 2 for the chova, okay, and 1 for the chatat. What does that mean? She has to bring 4 gazalot for her neder, 2 torim and 2 bnei yonah. Why? Because she doesn't know from which one did she do it. Meaning, if she knows which one she did it, so then she only has to bring 2. But since she doesn't know from which species she brought it from, so she has to bring 4, 2 torim and 2 bnei yonah. Now she also has to bring for the beginning a ken from each one in order to be tzedek chovah. Now she doesn't know from which one, so therefore, right, besides the chovah to bring the other 2, right, she also has to bring 2 olot for her chovah, toru ben yonah, because maybe the first ones were brought and it was all pasul. So therefore, but you still also have a chatat, so therefore you have to bring the chatat as well, right? Ben Azai says you have to bring 2 chatat, right? Why? Because maybe since you weren't in the tzedek chovah, she has to bring a chatat from each one of them, from one from a tor and one from ben yonah. Okay, so it's going to be 2 chatat. Which one? Chart. You need a chart? So chaval, you know what? We do have. Okay, fine. The truth is with the chaval, because if you want, remind me, right afterwards, we could probably send David. You want to do a mitzvah? Yeah? Perfect. Go to the Mishnayot. You know where we have the Mishnayot? Outside, right? All the way at the entrance of the Bet Knesset. We have in the middle, right, against the wall, usually where I sit on top, we have the Mishnayot. Okay, so in the Mishnayot there, we're going to have something which is, so there's going to be a Hebrew one, which is basically on Masechet Kinim. It's like this color. And it's got pictures, not like this color, I don't remember the color, but it's got, but look, basically look where the Mishnayot is. The Mishnayot, you know what, do me a favor, Ronen, what number do you have on the Mishnayot behind you? Those Mishnayot, what number? Yeah. One away. So no. One second. It's not this one, but it's on the same. There's 2 shelves of Mishnayot. In one of those Mishnayot, there's one of them on Masechet Kinim with pictures. So it's like birds. You're gonna open it up. There's gonna be a whole bunch of pictures with birds. Bring me that Mishnah. One of them. There's only one. Okay. Thank you, David. So he comes down. And he says like this: Amar Rabbi Yoshua, says Rabbi Yoshua. Zeh shamru. This is what we said. Keshehu chai. Right? Kolo echad. Ushu met. Kolo shiv'ah. What does that mean? Basically, at the end of Masechet Kinim over there, right, we went and we said, this is what it means that when an ayil is alive, he only has 1 kol. But when he dies, now he has 7 kolot. Why? Because basically they take the 2 karnot, right, for chatzotzrot. They take the two shocks and they make chalilim, flutes. His or, right, the skins, what do they use it for? For a tamburin, for a, how do you, tambur, tupim, right, for the drums, right? Me'av, right, for nevalim, for the naval. Bene me'av, the kinorot, for the, I don't know, you see each one in English. The flutes was the chalilim, the violin, okay? So therefore you see that when the ayil is alive, that's what it says. Ayil kishu chai, זה רק קול אחד. אבל ayil כשהוא מת, זה 7 קולות. מה אתה אומר? No, I don't need a Mishnah. Yeah? You should know that Masechet Kinim is a very big segula for the Refuah Shlema. Yes. Yeah? So it's incredible. And we have a picture book, by the way. You should use it because it's mamash. Yeah. The Mishnah. 1 second. We're in the middle. Right. 1 second. So he comes and he says like this. Yeah. The Mishnah Yomi, right, is in the Kinim. It's incredible because really, this is the Masechet that we're talking about. So here, right, when we're going to say now, Keshu Chai Kolo Echad, there's one voice. When it's dead, right, all of a sudden now you have 7 voices. Okay. So says the Gemara, Eimar de Amar Rabbi Yoshua lapuke mideh mi'ilah. When does he come and he said that the olah is going to change to a chatat, only to take out from mi'ilah, but to take it as a chovah? Miyamar, did he say such a thing? Obviously not. So because of that, obviously you can't say such a thing. Mishnah. The Mishnah says on the bottom of Masechet Amud Aleph 68:1, Mishnah. You have to have in brackets the entire first part, and it starts with malak b'smol. If you do melika with the left hand, or balayla, or on a nighttime, or shachachulin bifnim, or you did shechita of an off, which is an off chulin, inside of the azara, the kodshim bachutz, or you did shechita and kodshim outside, enan metameot bevet abliya. It's not going to be metameh bevet abliya. Malak besakin, if you do melika with a sakin, or malak chulin bifnim vekodshim bachutz, or you did melika of chulin inside and the kodshim outside, yeah, Samechet Amubet 68b. Or Torin Shelo Yazmanan, or Torin that did not get to the proper age in order to bring them as a korban. Ubnei Yonah or Bnei Yonah Shavar Zmanan, that it's already too late for them to bring it. Okay. Here it says that they're only going to be kosher when Mishiyazhivu. Uktanim Shuzez Psulim. By the Bnei Yonah, right? They're ksherim raktanim. Okay, so it means it all depends on the size. Okay. So he says sheyavsha gapa, or let's say it's already the wings dried up, or shedismet or got blinded, or was cut, ragla, right? Its leg was cut. Metameh v'tabliya. In these cases, it's going to be metameh v'tabliya because since it's going to be pasul, so it's like a nevela. This is the general rule. Kol shepsulo b'kodesh, as long as it's going to be pasul for the kodesh, eno metameh, right? Meaning if the psul is to do with the kodesh, which means it was kasher to bring it into the azara, but just pasul with betoch azara, meaning you brought it in kosher, and here it became pasul. So then eno metameh v'tabliya. But if it was not pasul because of the kodesh, it's going to be metameh v'tabliya. Meaning if it was pasul before you even came in, so then it's a problem. But if it was kosher and then it becomes pasul, so then there's not going to be a problem. Amar Rav says, simol velayla, if you do it with the left hand, the milika with the left hand, or nighttime, yeah, you're looking it up or what? Yeah, they're not going to be metamim v'tabliya. Zar v'sakin, but if it's going to be a zar or a sakin, meaning a stranger, a non-kohen, or you used a life, right? In such a case, what happens? Metamim v'tabliya. Maishna b'smol de'it le'echshera b'yom kippurim. He says, what's the difference between the small that you have the echsher in Yom Kippurim? Laila it le'echshara v'evarim mutarim. He says the same halacha applies that you've got the psul of avodah in Laila, but it does have a echsher where evarim udarim, which means you remember that we said that evarim udarim you're allowed to bring them the entire night, right? That's the right. You're allowed to bring them. So he says zar namit lechshera b'shchita. Zar also is kosher, shchita, not by melika, but at least with shchita. So answers the Gemara, shchita is not considered an avodah, and since shchita is not considered an avodah, I cannot come and compare it to other things because shchita is not an avodah. You just did the slaughtering. It's nothing. So says the Gemara, velo, are you going to tell me it's not an avodah? He says, V'amar Rabbi Yizera, says Rabbi Yizera, shchitat para bezar psula, umachvi ravala, and he comes and he showed that it's talking about the shchita. So he says, because it says Elazar, and it says chukah. So we learn from here that it's going to be ma'akev. So he says, share para, the para duma is different to kochebe de kabayito, because it's kochebe de kabayit, which means it's not even a korban. It's kochebe de kabayit, and therefore it's a different halacha. So he says, "Velo kol dechen." So it's not a kol sheken. Kol shebe de kabayit ba'u kiuna. Kol shebe mizbeach b'mibayeh. So if you need to be a kohen for kol shebe de kabayit, kal vachomer, then you're going to need it for kol shebe mizbeach. So Amar Rav Shisha bered Ravidi mididahava. It's like amarot negaim. It's like amarot negavim. Tilav avodahi ba'yekuna. Who looks at the negaim? The kohanim. The kohen used to look at the nega. Right? It's not an avodah, but you still need a kohen. So says the Gemara, v'neilaf mi bama. Why can you learn it from a bama? Just like a bama, the zar could bring it lechatchila. So to here, you should be able to bring it lechatchila. So he says, mi bama lo yalif. You can't learn it from the bama, right? You can't learn it from there. He doesn't actually say. Why? I don't know. Let me see here. 22. He doesn't actually explain. Let's ask what we're going to see now. Velo, why you can't learn from the bama? Why not? But Tanya, we learned in the Braita, minayin liyotze. How do we know that if you have a korban which is going to become pasul because it took out shimala lo yered? No, it's not there. Sheim ala lo yered. Shari yotze kasher b'bama, but it's going to be kasher with a bama. So he says, Tana zot Torah ta'ola samichle. He comes and he says, this is zot Torah ta'ola, and therefore he says, Rabbi Yochanan Amar, Zad eno mitameh bet abliyah. Zad is not going to be mitameh a bet abliyah. Okay? What does that mean? He says over here, right? Rabbi Yochanan says Zad is not going to be mitameh bet abliyah, but the sakin is mitameh bet abliyah. Okay, which means that when you do milika of a zar, it's not going to be mitameh bet abliyah. But sakin is mitameh bet abliyah. But tonight we learned in the Mishnah, kol psulin shemelku milikatam psula. So bishlema, I understand according to Rabbi Yochanan, kol is coming to include the zar. That again, that it's not going to be mitameh bet abliyah. But according to Rav, what is it coming to include? So he says it's coming to include the small and the laila. Okay, the small v'layla is written mefurash. He says no, you wanted to say mefurash. The Tashma we also learned in the proofs that klal kodshay psulo b'kodesh v'intamim begadim bet abliyah b'shema. Rabbi Yochanan is good according to Rabbi Yochanan, but it says kol to include the zar. But according to Rav, what is it coming to include? So the Gemara says v'litamech, and according to your reasoning, shelo psulo b'kodesh, what is it coming to include? So he says, but rather the Reish is talking about shchitat kodshim bifnim, and the Seifa is coming to include milikat chulin outside. That it is going to be mitameh the bet abliyah. Okay, and that's what we're going to finish for today.